The implications of significant funding shortfalls for Rohingya refugees. As warned by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees (UNHCR), are multifaceted and can have severe humanitarian consequences. Here's a detailed explanation. 1. Basic needs and services. Funding shortfalls can lead to a lack of resources to provide essential services such as food, clean water, shelter, health care, and education to Rohingya refugees. This can exacerbate existing vulnerabilities, leaving refugees at risk of malnutrition, illness, and even death. 2. Health care. Insufficient funding may result in limited access to health care services for Rohingya refugees, including medical treatment, vaccinations, and maternal care. This can lead to increased mortality rates, particularly among vulnerable populations such as children, pregnant women, and the elderly. 3. Education. A lack of funding can hinder efforts to provide education to Rohingya children and adolescents living in refugee camps. Without access to schooling, these children may face long-term consequences, including limited opportunities for future employment and socio-economic advancement. 4. Protection. Funding shortages may compromise efforts to protect Rohingya refugees from various forms of exploitation, abuse, and violence. This includes risks such as human trafficking, sexual and gender-based violence, and forced recruitment into armed groups. 5. Livelihoods and economic opportunities. Limited funding can hinder initiatives aimed at promoting self-reliance and livelihood opportunities for Rohingya refugees. Without access to income-generating activities and vocational training, refugees may become dependent on humanitarian assistance and struggle to rebuild their lives. 6. Psychosocial support. Trauma and psychological distress are prevalent among Rohingya refugees, many of whom have experienced or witnessed violence, displacement, and loss. Adequate funding is essential to provide psychosocial support and mental health services to address these issues and promote resilience and well-being. 7. Environmental and infrastructure challenges. Refugee camps hosting Rohingya populations face environmental degradation and infrastructure challenges due to overcrowding and limited resources. Funding shortfalls can impede efforts to address these issues, leading to inadequate sanitation facilities, waste management, and environmental degradation. 8. Social cohesion and community integration. Insufficient funding may hinder efforts to promote social cohesion and community integration between Rohingya refugees and host populations. This can contribute to tensions, discrimination, and social unrest, exacerbating the challenges faced by both refugees and host communities. Overall, significant funding shortfalls for Rohingya refugees can undermine efforts to meet their basic needs, protect their rights, and support their long-term well-being and self-reliance.